Okay, this is pre-calculus video on factoring hard AC. This is part A. All right, so we're starting out with a polynomial with three terms. If I've got a polynomial with three terms and the leading coefficient is not 1, that's this number here, that's not a 1, that makes it hard AC. And so what we're doing here is we are unfoiling. And with the easy problems, you could just plug in without doing all four multiplications. With these, you have to do four FOIL, four different multiplications to check your work. There are many methods for doing this. You may have learned a different method. I'm showing you my favorite method for higher level math right now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my A, which is 2, and my C, which is 3, and multiply them together. So 2 times 3 is 6, and that's what AC stands for, A times C. I'm looking for factors of that A times C whose sum is B, in this case, 7. All right, so I'm looking for factors of 6 whose sum is 7. I could go with 2 times 3, that's a 3, but they don't add up to 7, or 6 and 1. 6 and 1 add up to 7, so those are the magic numbers. Okay. My first times first has to multiply to 2x to the second. So I'm just going to come up with two numbers that multiply to 2x to the second, and they go in first times first. So that's 2x times x. Now, my outer times outer and my inner times inner are these magic numbers, but I don't know which order they're in. They could be, one could be outer, the other one could be inner, I don't know. But what I do know is that when I multiply outer times outer, I've got a 2x up front, so that's an outer. So this has to be a multiple of 2, and the only magic number that's a multiple of 2 is 6. So 6x comes from here, okay, and 2 times positive 3 gives me that 6x. 2x times 3 gives me the 6x. So 6x is done. Now, my other magic number is a 1, so inner times inner has to be 1x. So I've got x times positive 1 gives me the 1x. Last times last, 1 times 3 has to give me c. And you're not really putting anything in there, you're just checking your work. If 1 times 3 equals 3, then your work checks. And this is the answer. All right, next problem. Okay. So I'm looking for factors of 30, because that's A times C, 3 times 10. Factors of 30 whose sum is 17. So 3 times 10, nope, that's not it. How about 2 times 15? 2 times 15, those two are the magic numbers. First times first is 3x times x. Last times last is a magic number that's a multiple of 3. So 15x is your last times last. So 3x times 5 gives me 15x. The other magic number is the 2x. So x times positive 2. I'm done. All I'm going to do is check last times last equals c. So yes, it does. That means that this is the answer. Problem 3. A times c is 10. I need factors of 10 whose sum is negative 7, 5, and 2, negative 5, negative 2, multiplied to positive 10, add to negative 7. First times first is 5x times x. Outer times outer has to be negative 5x. So that means I need a negative 1. There's a negative 1. Inner times inner has to be negative 2x. So I need a negative 2. Last times last is positive 2. There's my answer. All right, so for the next two problems, what I really think you should do is pause and then check your work, okay? Pause it now. Give it a try. I'm going to do the problem now. All right, A times C. A times C is negative 33. I need some factors of negative 33 whose sum is 32. So I've got positive 33, negative 1. First times first is 3k times k. Outer times outer has to be 33, so I need a positive 11. Inner times inner has to be negative 1, so I need a negative 1. Last times last is negative 11. Next problem. 11 times negative 16. I'm using a calculator here. I need factors of 176 whose sum is 14. This might take a while. 176 divided by 2 is 88. Of course, that's not it. I don't think 3 goes into 176. It doesn't. All right, but 4 does. 176 divided by 4 is 44. That's not it. 176 divided by 8 is 22. And by the way, this has got to be a negative 176 because A times C is 11 times negative 16. 22 subtract 8 is the 14 that I need, so this is going to be a negative 8. Okay, negative 8. All right, so now I'm ready. So first times first is 11m to the second, so that's 11m times m. Outer times outer is 22. It has to be a multiple of 11, so 11 times positive 2. Inner times inner is negative 8, so 1 times negative 8. And last times last is negative 16. All right, that's it for part A of hard AC.